So hello again, and let me once again welcome you on our Tech Hour on Dashboard Essential, so visualizing your data in Creatio. So as the title of the Tech Hour says, we're going to focus today on presenting the dashboards in Creatio. So we will focus on the functionalities connected to it. And my name is Matt. I'm part of Creatio Academy trainers, and I'm very happy to conduct today's session. So the first part that I would like to start before even entering the dashboards, I would like to show you where you can find it, because in comparison to our legacy to classic UI, dashboards were usually figuring as a separate section that we use to display some widgets with proper data, so far and so forth. Now in Freedom UI, there is a slight difference, and maybe some of you as users might notice a toggle panel or on every single section that we have got on the navigation panel, at least in most of the Freedom UI ones. So that toggle panel will guide you to the dashboard. So our section now can be divided for both the list pages and some metrics, pipelines, or charts that you or your users are going to set. So the same, if you will visit a contact section and you will switch to the toggle panel, now you can see that we have got separate contact analytics in terms of the dashboard. So we can design the widgets according to our needs towards the section. If you notice and paid attention, I mentioned that now the users can create their own dashboard. So we do not need system admins to set such page for us, especially that like managing data and looking through numbers is very often like individual thing per users. Now you can design your own dashboards in more details. I will tell you a little bit more. But the first thing I would like to point out is where the dashboards are being saved if we do that from the user standpoint. So this is rather information for the system admins. So if you will visit advanced settings and you will take a look on the list of our packages, you will see environments schemas. So basically, once you as user are going to create a new dashboard, it is going to be saved exactly in environment schemas. That And that part, environment schemas, is something like individual per environment. So in terms of the transfer data, it is not going to be transferred unless you move the element from one package to another. So all the changes done by your users are going to be hold there and will not have the influence basically on other people. So you can customize the dashboards on your own. So let me also present one useful functionality of our Creatio AI agents, right? So let me agree on the terms of the privacy, and we're going to start creating the first desktop to our contact section. So as you can see, we have a button available to create a chart widget. And of course, we can ask Creatio AI agent to create such a chart for us. So let's create a chart that will tell us how many campaign participants are available in general. So create. um, So let's create a chart with campaign participants by campaigns. So let our Creatio AI work on that. As you can see, it is being processed currently. And soon enough, we should see a chart with the proper scores. And here we are. So now, from our Creatio AI, we have got a chart. We can extend it so we can have a quick review of the data in terms of what campaigns we are conducting, how many of them they are. But also what we can do is that we can use this particular widget to create a new dashboard. So let's select this option and let's move to the drag and drop designer. Okay, and here we are. And just to mention and refer to what I previously said in terms that every user can create their own individual dashboard. So this is the part, and what you can see over here, you see the info that dashboard will be available in this environment only. So if you will open the general settings for our dashboard and you will scroll down to the advanced, you will see that the package where the current dashboard is being saved will be user level schema package. So the one that I just showed you in the advanced settings. So that's how we can recognize if it is going to be embedded into the application, into the package, or if it is going to be individual one for the environment. So let's change the name and let's name it campaigns dashboard. And another thing that is relatively new in our dashboard functionality will be the data source of the dashboard. Meaning that all of the widgets that we are going to drop, they by default are going to show you the information about the given data source object. Of course, you will be able to change that I will show you promptly. But first of all, let's maybe extend the chart folder for the full width, and let's get into the chart settings so we will see like a little bit more complex data and something more relevant. So as currently we have got numbers of the participants for the particular marketing campaign. Let's create a series that will show us not only the participants in general, but how many of them is currently taking place and how many of them exited the given campaign. So in such case, we are going to add a filter and we're going to sort them by status, right? So yeah, for that will be exited and reached the goal. So we are going to measure those two values, and we're going to change the index number caption. So participants uh, exited. Participants exited. And let's copy the series and let's just change the filter for the other one. So with that, we are going to measure participants participating. I believe this is descriptive enough. So in such case, of course, we need to change the filter and select all other statuses. And I believe that a good idea would be to stack the series so we will not see too many bars over here. Also, let's change it to the column ones. We need to change it for both naturally. And for those who moved out from the campaign, let's change the color for the green for the transparency of the data. And maybe just to have like a distinction in between what we're going to place next, let's change the style for partially colored. Okay, so now in addition, just to have something more on our dashboard, we are going to apply a few more metrics. So let's say this will be the first one. That will tell us how many participants has reached the goal. Okay, so let's go with the chart settings. Um, campaign participants. Sure, let's leave it as a green. And we're going to count the numbers of the participants that reached the goal. I believe that in my current data, there won't be any such participants. So let's add one more value that will be exited just to see a number, right? So now we can also change the style of our metric. Let's go with, for instance, glass effect, and let's go maybe with the regular green. Yeah. And as we have placed, okay, let's maybe add one more thing to be more transparent, meaning the description underneath the number, or which is how to display the metric. And we're going to say that many of them reached the goal. Of course, in here, we just need to determine if the value that we entered in here is going to appear above and under the number or before and after. But we are going to use the default one. So now we can see that 61 of them reached the goal. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to copy that because as we see the number, how many participants has reached the goal, yeah, we can also show the number of how many people is currently taking part in the campaign. So in such way, we're going to switch the filter to in progress, still 0, participating, and that will be the value of the number in my demo, right? So yeah, campaign participants. Yeah, and we're going to change the format in here because not reach the goal, but participating. So with that, we will have clear overview of the general. Yeah, we're not going to group them by the particular campaign, but we see the general number of our participants that are taking part and that have completed the campaign. Also, let me go back to the chart setting and let me point out one behavior that we see, right? So as for the settings for the metric, if you notice, we played around with the style, with the format, and with the filters. But in terms of the object and the function of that metric, I didn't do nothing, right? Basically, this is based on the source of our dashboard, because as you saw, the source of our dashboard was campaign participants. So the value over here is strictly referring to the source of the dashboard. But it does not mean that we will not be able to apply anything else or to display the values of or related or simply different objects. So in such case, I'm going to open a new metric or create a new metric. And this will tell us how many campaigns we have completed, right? So it started and it stopped. We are going to name that metric campaigns. Campaigns. We're going to make it, let's say, turquoise, turquoise. We're going to make it with a glass effect. And yeah, we're going to change the object of that metric. So we're not going to count campaign participants, but the campaigns themselves, right? So as for now, as you can see, we have got 5 of them. If I will set up the filter, because that's what I want to do, filter them by status, I want to see only the ones that are stopped. So the value didn't change. So as you expect, I have 0 running ones. But for the users to make it transparent what they are reading, let's just mention that they are completed. Okay, let me save it. And also, similarly as with the previous one, we're going to make a parallel one, which will tell us how many campaigns are running. So we are going to switch the filter. And we're going to go with the active and scheduled and planned, or not planned. Let's go with active and scheduled. As you can see in my environment, there is zero such of such. And of course, we're going to change the value. So running. Okay. And of course, let me change the color to something like more blue, the same with our campaign participants participating. Yeah, so let's give it like a similar color so we know which are reached and completed values and which are still pending and running. So yeah, the last thing I would like to add on the dashboard would be a label, right? So this is just a reminder what we're looking at. So marketing campaign overview. I'm going to change a style to, let's go with large three, as far as I remember, that was the one. I'm going to make it in the middle and maybe let's change the style from the default to the normal one. Okay, now let me save the dashboard. And as you can see, the dashboard is successfully saved. So let me refresh the page. Okay, perfect. And here we go. Sorry about that. But coming back to what I was saying, now you can see that for my campaign, for my contact section, now I have got additional campaign dashboard available. So that's how you can create, that's how simply you can create them. Also, in addition, what I would like to say, that the dashboard that I just created, it is going to be saved only for this environment and per my user. Also, we can extend the access rights simply by clicking on the actions. So the shish kebab menu on the right top corner of the whole dashboard, right below the toggle panel tab, and you can set up the access rights to grant, read, edit, or delete permissions towards other users or roles. Okay, so in addition, in order to, this is rather for the system admins, of course, but in order to save the dashboard into a package rather than the environment one, uh, simply open the list page in the drag and drop designer, so the proper section in the drag and drop designer, and open the dashboard tab and click on the dashboard component. And from this standpoint, as you can see, even though I have created the marketing campaigns dashboard, that overview that you just saw, it is not available for the package, only contact analytics. So if you want to add a new dashboard and implement it into the package of the application, that's how you should do it, through the drag and drop designer. And now, if you will see the general settings, now you can see that this dashboard is being created in lead and opportunity management app, or to be more precise, the overwritten one, right? Because this is a part of the base package. So that's how you can do it. Also, one of the best practices, or to have more control of what or where you want to save it, I would use application hub. Because in the current scenario, as you will add the new dashboard, you are going to end up by adding it in the last package where the given client module was edited, right? So in this case, it will be in the lead and opportunity management. So in order, if you would like to save the dashboard, yes, I want to leave, in the customer 360 app, yeah, this is a simple way to do it. And by the way, we're going to utilize another dashboard in a second. So go to the application hub, open the application where you want your dashboard to be available during the transfer or later on. In this case, we're going to use Customer 361 and open the list page. Open the list page or the form page or any page where you want to add the given component from this standpoint. The next one that we are going to create will be a little bit about our accounts. So we're going to open accounts form page. Accounts form page. So uh, let me prepare very quickly a layout for our dashboard. So I'm going to utilize a toggle panel, and the area that the toggle panel will show will be in between the header and the main page of our account form page. Yeah, I want it over here. Let me remove one of the tabs. Let me rename the second. Dashboards. There is also an icon to do that. Here it is at the bottom. I'm going to remove the label. We do not need it. But what we definitely need in that case will be the dashboard component. So again, in comparison to the classic UI where we could create a whole section of and like multiple tabs of the dashboards, widgets, charts, and so far and so forth. Now we can place it on any page by using the component simply called dashboards. Yeah. So now, as I dropped it over here, I'm going to leave the data source empty, right? Because frankly, I do not need it that much. And it is not required. What I'm going to do is that I am going to create a new dashboard. And as you can see, the dashboard is being saved in not in leads and opportunity, but in overwritten customer 360 app package. So using application hub, you can easily control, and I would say more intuitively control when you want to add a new client module. Okay, so let's rename it and let's go with account sales. And we're going to design relatively simple dashboard to compare the values that we see on our accounts form page. In this particular case, I mean the sales tab, where we can see the information about opportunities, orders, so far and so forth. And this dashboard will help us to compare the research account with the one that we usually work on. So first of all, we're going to use a new widget, which is list widget, and we're going to name it opportunity. Opportunity. And that list in particular, or in general, is supposed to show us all the opportunities that we have got that are directed towards the company. So there won't be any opportunities like for the contact toward like a private individual, but rather toward the company. And of course, to do that, we're going to use our opportunity object. Next step that we're going to do with our widget would be to apply a static filter for that list. Because again, we want to see only the opportunities where the account is filled in. And that is that. So let's add condition. Let's go with our account value. And let's say that the value is filled in. So now the list will show us all the opportunities that we are going to see. So now, as we have the list, the purpose of the dashboard is to compare the opportunities by one company against the one that we see currently on the form page, right? So the good idea to organize this list would be to use a quick filter. So this is another thing in, let's say, new functionality of our dashboard, where you can filter the values in the dashboard itself. Yeah, so if we will apply a quick filter, we are going to use a lookup value. And now we need to determine which component we're going to filter. And in such case, we are going to filter our our list widget. Not that we have like a lot of to choose from, but still, let's go with the account. I do not want to have any default value for this widget, so we're just going to use it whenever it is needed. And let's leave the filter as is. I mean the icon for the filter. Okay, so now, in addition, just to have like a quick overview of the number, we are going to apply the metrics as well. So we are going to see how much the given company has the opportunity record, or how many opportunity records are connected to the company that we are going to use in the filter. So in such case, we are going to set up our metric. And it is going to show us opportunities. Opportunities. We're going with the green. We can leave the metric as a plain white, why not? And the object opportunity, we're going, sure, to count them. And we're not going to apply basically, or let's apply the filter. So we will see the proper one, the proper number that we have currently on the list, right? So that would be not status, but account is filled in. Then as you can see, we have got 102 opportunity records. That's just it. So now what we need to do is to apply pre-configured filter. But that setting, so we are going to use our quick filter available on the dashboard, the one that we created. By just selecting it, it will not do. So one filter can be used towards multiple widgets. So as I said, you can see that we have selected this filter to work on this particular metric. So also that setting needs to be done in the filter component itself, where we need to determine by which column we're going to filter our metric. And also maybe in addition, we're going to copy it. And as we see the number of opportunities, we're going to show the number of orders. Mhm. Orders. The same as with our opportunities, we're going to display only the ones that are connected to our account or to accounts in general. In the same, we need to apply pre-configured filter, so we can either add one from here, or we can go back to our quick filter component and add component to filter directly from this element. And if we do so, we're going with the metric order naturally, and of course we're filtering by the account value. One additional thing that we can do, or what is available, will be a sales pipeline. Okay, actually, unfortunately, I need to adjust the size of the widgets a little bit. Okay, and as you can see with the drag and drop designer, setting up everything in the space is very, very easy. So for the sales pipeline, there is not much to set, to be frank, because the only thing that we have to select from or to set it will be the filter. So the same, we're going with the same logic. We want to see the opportunities with the account value filled in. And the numbers will change slightly, not much, because the number varies about two in my the data that I have prepared. But about the sales pipeline and the full pipeline as well, right? It is going to it is pre-configured element showing you the number of opportunities based based on the status and also with some additional information about the count and amount in general. We have got also tab that will show you stage conversion rate and pipeline conversion. So this is not to be said. This is already the formulas and functions are preset for you. The only thing is for you to set which sort of given records you want to filter and see on the given chart. So let's save it and let's save our desktop, right? It is going to belong to the package, not to the environment itself. So let me save the changes in the drag and drop designer. Perfect. And let me save the changes in the drag and drop designer for our accounts form page as well. Okay, let me close the application happen. Let's get back to the runtime. Let's give it some time to open the page. Okay, here we go. Now, let's get back from the dashboard view. Also, what I want to point out, note that the dashboard that we created are rather destined per component, right? So in the general section or on the list page for our dashboards, the one that I just created is not available, right? But if I will go back and open any account, yeah, you can see my dashboard tab is available in here, and now I can compare in general how much what I'm looking at. Is it Axiom? No, it is Apex solution. So I can take a look how many orders Apex solution have ordered or how many opportunities I have connected to them. Right. So if I want to compare this company with, for instance, something else, let's go with Gateway. Yeah, now we can see that the Apex, in terms of opportunities, it has one less than the Gateway. The orders in here, yeah, okay, the orders, the winner is Apex. So again, that's how you can prepare your dashboard. So keep in mind, depending where you're making edits or where you're making changes, if it is the application hub or a drag and drop designer directly, or if it is a runtime. Because if you're going to make changes in the runtime, and please know what I'm doing, now we're going to edit the dashboard that was added to the package Customer 360 application, not to the environment. So if I will make changes and edit that, what is going to happen is that I am going to overwrite that dashboard as well. So the changes that I will perform right now, they are going to be individual per user, per environment. Okay, so in order to get back, note that the package is user level schema package. So in order to make changes to the, let's say, original dashboard, the one that is located in Customer 360, you can go back to the parent package where the current one is being overwritten, and the changes from the system admin, of course, standpoint will be done again in the package. So keep in mind where you're making changes to your dashboard too. And that will be the last part that I have prepared for you today. So thank you very much for participation. I hope you enjoyed it.